Thank you for plugging into this Family Life News podcast, streaming issues-driven, family-focused news.
I'm Tracy Lynn, and this is our summer-long staycation destination series. Every Friday during the Noon Report, we'll spotlight a staycation destination that's not far from home and won't break the bank. This week, we're taking you on an Erie Canal Cruise in Lockport, New York.
Hello, my name is Mike Wrona. I'm with Lockport Locks and Erie Canal Cruises.
So we're about 20 miles east of Niagara Falls, New York, along the Erie Canal. What is so special about Lockport, New York?
Lockport is one of the great canal cities of the Erie Canal. It is noted for the incredible engineering feat that took place to get the canal installed. There is an elevation of about 70 feet that the canal had to overcome to get to the ridge where water could flow in from the Niagara River. And then between it and the Niagara River was an additional 45-foot limestone mound that had to be excavated to allow the canal to go through. It became a major transportation hub for all of Western New York when the canal was completed.
And when was that?
It started in 1817, was completed in 1825, and it's interesting that most of the canal was completed up to Lockport from Albany, and they had to wait almost 2.5 years for the Lockport Deep Cut, the limestone escarpment, to be excavated.
For listeners who may not know, what is a lock exactly?
A lock is like a gravity escalator. In this case, the boat flows into what is essentially a rectangular bathtub. The bathtub fills with water by gravity up to the next set of locks. The doors open and the boat passes through, and again, by gravity, with the flow of water, it is moved up till it reaches the elevation of the lock.
Yeah, and how many locks are there in Lockport?
2 modern locks in Lockport. Originally, there were 10, so the locks that are replaced were 90 feet long. These are 300 feet long and contain 3.5 million gallons of water.
Can you tell me about the town? Obviously, it probably wasn't called Lockport before the locks were installed. And how has it built up because of the locks?
Well, before the canal was constructed, there was nothing here. There was a small village of Buffalo, about 20 miles southwest of us, that had maybe 1,300 people in 1810, but it's essentially wilderness. Its name was called the Niagara Frontier because it was the frontier of the United States. The towns that popped up on the canal because of the canal.
Yeah. Was coal one of the primary things that were shipped along the route?
No, coal was found south of us in Pennsylvania, in the Pittsburgh area, along the Appalachian Mountains up to the Wilkes-Barre, Scranton area. Here it was salt, sandstone, granite, timber, agricultural goods were all shipped to the East Coast. And manufactured products came from the East Coast to the inland.
So people can come here and take an Erie Canal cruise. What does that include?
Well, the cruise is about an hour and 45 minutes to 2 hours long. In the cruise, you will go through Lock 34 and 35. Then when you get up to the upper level of the lock, you will pass inside what is called the Lockport Deep Cut. The Deep Cut was a 45-foot-high mound of limestone that was excavated to install the canal. You'll see the marks where the engineers, actually they were called engineers, but we had no engineers in the United States. They were learning to be engineers, to where they broke up the rocks either using War of 1812, the leftover gunpowder, or just simple hammers, chisels, and sledgehammers. The canal towpath. As you come out of that area, we will return. You're heading west at this point. We will then turn around and come back down through the locks again, and we'll pass through what is called the historic Market Street district. Those are the homes that were some of the first homes built in Lockport, with early construction starting in the 1830s. Most of the homes were constructed out of the limestone that was excavated out of the canal. They were called freestone buildings, and that's what helped cause the city to boom. You had plenty of building materials that were free. Also, you'll see what is called a levee. There is a 60-mile-long probably 30-foot wide rock and dirt berm, which holds the Erie Canal up against the Niagara Escarpment. The city of Lockport at that point dips below the canal. So it'd be like going to New Orleans and the Mississippi River, to where if you're standing in downtown New Orleans, you see the ships going by up above you. It's the same way here. The people in lower Lockport will see the boats traveling by above their heads. It's fully narrated. All our captains have been with the business for more than 10 years. They're knowledgeable. They're open to questions.
So, Mike, how much should folks expect to pay when booking a boat tour with Lockport Locks?
For adults, that's age 11 and up, it's $21.50. Youth from age 4 to 10 is $11. Children under 4 are free. And if you're a member of the Automobile Association or the Canadian Automobile Association, the adult charge is $20.
Okay.
We would recommend, to make sure you don't make a trip to us and then find out we're sold out, is that you purchase your ticket ahead of time. You go online and you can make a purchase ahead of time.
Great. And what's that website?
That's lockportlocks.com.
It's spelled just the way it sounds.
Yes.
Is there anything else you'd like to tell us maybe about the town itself?
Yes. We have a fantastic Episcopal church that has Tiffany stained glass windows in it. We have a very informative Discovery Center, which will tell you the history of Lockport. You can walk down to see the old 19th century canal locks, which are in the process of being restored. There is a rebuild of an 1840s canal boat down there that you can see. There is a tour which will take you to the underground caves to see the old raceways of the canal. It is an interesting little town. It's about 18,000 people, and it's very scenic.
We hope you've enjoyed coming along on our staycation destination. You can hear all the podcasts online. Join us next week as we visit a new destination in Pennsylvania.